Hello, Internet. I'm smoking inside because I'm pretty stupid and I should be smoking outside. So I get my injection today, Risperidone Consta. The government pays about $300 every 2 weeks to inject this drug into my body. And whether I need it or not, I seem to be dependent on it, and the people who have power believe I need it. They believe I should have it. So whether it benefits society for me to take this drug or not, the people in power believe it benefits society for me to take it. So, I could say crazy things like they're researching on me, I'm a human guinea pig, or even something just as simple as, what if it's a placebo or a near placebo and they're just funneling government money from the government into pharmaceutical companies and using me as a conduit for which I am reimbursed through welfare programs for my efforts. But either way, it's a fact of my life, and the only there's some options to get off it. If I worked with my psychiatrist, which I don't currently have a psychiatrist, but it's possible to tell your psychiatrist you want to get off the drug, and they reduce the dose slowly over time and they monitor you. They don't really monitor you that closely. Maybe you'd see them once a week for an hour, and they judge if you're going insane, and then they put you back on the drug if they think you're going insane. So I've tried this, I think, twice in my 20s, and I went insane. The psychiatrist didn't seem to realize, or he thought I could handle it, so I ended up in the emergency room of a psychiatric facility. I hadn't, if I recall, I don't think I did anything dramatic. Just people knew that my brain was not working and intervention was needed, just by the way I was talking. And then when that happens, what happens is they put you back on the drugs you were on before, and then they even give you more drugs on top of that, and then of course you're taking up hospital space, so that costs money as well. Another option is I heard of a man who had a condition similar to mine, and he traveled to India. And I don't know if this is folklore in the crazy people community, But apparently he traveled to India, stopped taking his medication, and stayed there for a few years. And then later he came back, and he wasn't on medication, and now he's a professor or something. So, could try that, but that seems kind of dangerous. I wouldn't want to be a crazy person in India. Not that India is a horrible country, but it is, I don't really have a community there that would know who I was, that knew that I was not a bad person. And I could just see myself like being a lunatic in the street or wherever, and being jailed. Or, anything could happen. And then I could just die, which I will die eventually. I don't want to die. I don't. First of all, I like being alive. And also, I don't think that me being alive is damaging, at least not in a major way, to people, other people. I don't think that my death would benefit society in a substantial way. And I think me being alive does benefit society, maybe not in a substantial way, but there's people who care about me, and I mean, that's selfish to say that I should only be alive because people would be sad if I was dead. But, I think life is, my personal thought is it's good to be alive. I enjoy being alive. I assume a lot of other people enjoy being alive. And death is, I don't know what you believe about death, whether you believe it's the end or not, but I think being alive is good. So, yeah, and like, who knows, if I am alive and I continue to be alive, even if what I am now is not, that great, I'm not that important, I don't build houses, I don't perform surgery, but maybe I can one day be of value in some way. So yeah, I was talking about I told my friend who had recently traveled to India um, about how I had heard of this man who got off his psychiatric meds and seemed to be a sane person without them by traveling to India. And my friend said, oh yeah, he went to India and you could get a quarter chicken dinner there for 75 cents. And I said, oh, there's a place near my house where you can get a quarter chicken dinner for $7.50. So that's a really good price. And he looked at me like I was just really ignorant, and he didn't know how to respond to what I said. He did. I don't know if he thought that like I was joking, or he was confused about what point I was trying to make. And I wasn't trying to disparage India, obviously. Like I thought quartered chicken for 75 cents, maybe it's just as good, maybe it's better, maybe it's worse, but that's a good deal. I'd probably buy that. I'd probably eat that, and I'd probably enjoy it. But this was a friend who I went to high school with, and we had just lived such different lives. He was fairly successful. I don't think he had anything to be ashamed about in terms of the success his life was taking him. He had a decent job. He traveled the world, and he was proud that he traveled the world, and he had a good job, as he should be. Meanwhile, I've barely left my home city, which it's a fairly big city. I'm not saying it's the best city, but I'd say it's a good place to live, and there's plenty of experiences to be had here. But I don't know if he saw me as like backwards or like slightly stunted. And I don't know if maybe when I said that to him, he just, maybe he realized that I had a very different life experience from him, and it was something that he couldn't comprehend. And while he was proud that he traveled the world, and from his perspective, he felt like he knew, kind of like the truth of, he had a better understanding about humanity, because he had explored but maybe despite that, he wasn't aware of the experience that I'd been through, and so he felt you know, like he hadn't seen that. So he had seen, I don't know, I'm kind of, not really making much of a point here, but I'd like to travel. I'd like to get off the psychiatric drugs, and I'd like to stop smoking, like to stop drinking, and making some progress with not drinking, and making some progress with not smoking. When I do smoke outside, I smoke a lot less. So I'd like to travel if I'm capable, if I can, you know, muster the money together, and if I can be right in the head to do that. You know, I think it people might not realize that traveling for them takes a piece of their effort. They might see it as enjoyable. I'm not sure. I don't know. Because people do it for vacation, is my point. So they see it as a recreational activity in a way, but also obviously like a learning experience. But they might not realize that for some people, traveling, if you have trouble dealing with stress, you might not be capable of traveling. So if I can get myself to a place where I can deal with stress better, I'd like to travel. And yeah, sorry for wasting your time. I hope you found some of these words coming out of my head interesting, maybe funny. I expect a few comments telling me to kill myself. So yeah, thanks and bye.